I remember the the 18-hour flight there. I remembered it was long and my legs hurt. But once I got there, it was cool. It wasn't the same as I had been to Mexico before a mission, and flew into the Yucatan Peninsula. And there, when I got off, it was all hot and humid and geckos on the walls and bugs everywhere. But flew into Buenos Aires, kind of different story. Not the same as the U.S., but a little bit more like enclosed. There was air conditioning, I believe, and just kind of followed everyone else. You had a prayer in your heart, and once you got onto this shuttle or this bus that the office elders or the senior missionaries drove with the president and his wife, we got there, and we went to the Buenos Aires temple, which was where the Argentine MTC was, to pick up some elders there. And it was just crazy. It was just crazy just to look out the window and see how things were, and just imagine, like, wow, this is kind of a different feel than the United States. And I just remember wanting to help out and love the people there. I just felt so much love for the people there. And I wanted to just, I couldn't speak Spanish, even though I had spoke it for the last few weeks. Carrying on a conversation was difficult, but I wanted to just go hug everyone on the street. And I remember one of the first things that either president or his wife said. They stood up in the shuttle, and they started talking about what we could expect on the mission. And it was funny because one of the first things, I think it was the sister, the president's wife, who said, "All right, elders, well," I think it was just elders, all right, elders and sisters, so when you get robbed, and yes, it's not if you get robbed, it's when you get robbed. When you get robbed, this is what you do. So it was kind of funny, and kind of just like, all right, I'm not sure if I'm going to tell my mom that one or not, but this is going to happen. And she also was just, she gave us a promise, and it's important to always remember to listen to what the president says. Here you see his revelation for the mission. And, one of the things that they said is, if you're exactly obedient, you'll be protected. And I was robbed a handful of times, in what people would probably say is dangerous situations, life-threatening even. And I was never hurt. My companions were pushed around a little bit, but I never even was. In fact, I felt quite empowered in those moments to be able to maneuver myself out of those situations. So one thing to know is to not be afraid there. Know that the Lord really has His hand in your guys' life, and to follow the mission rules and what the president says, and you'll be protected in the way that you need to be. Trying to think more of the first day, it was quite a shock for me to experience the way that the gospel was preached there in my mission. It was quite different than I had experienced back at home. There wasn't much of a missionary service in my ward growing up, except for like a year or two before I went on my mission, and it was just so different. We were on the bus, and my mission president goes and talks to the bus driver, and he says in English, "I'm going to invite this man to be baptized and read the Book of Mormon." And I was just freaking out. I'm like, you can't do that. You can't do that. So quickly, too. He just met him. And he goes up and he just talks to him, and he's trying to convey his testimony to him. And the man accepts the Book of Mormon. and accepts that if he feels that this is the true church, that he will be baptized. And it was just like right in front of our eyes this happened, and it was scary and breathtaking and exciting, and I had no clue how to say that in Spanish. But the president invited us, or committed us, to do the exact same thing by the end of the day. We had 24 hours, which in those next 24 hours was a big thing, because we went to the president's house. We got assigned our companions. It was not what I expected. My first companion was the assistant to the president, and it was a trio. So there's 3 elders, and one elder had just gotten surgery and was recovering in bed, and so it was just a unique situation. We got assigned our companions. We were given a little sweet snack, and shuttled off in these taxis. They were called remises, and we went to this area, and it was pretty run down. A lot of garbage in the streets, a lot of things that you normally wouldn't see. And got to our apartment, there was a skeleton of an armadillo at the door in the plant feeder. And our house was made out of cement bricks, and there were cracks in the walls and socks put in there to try to make it so the cold wouldn't get in. It was pretty cold. And it was just like, all right, this is it. We put down our stuff. I didn't even unpack. Went out and started serving. Started running out, walking around the streets, starting to try to talk to people, learning the area, getting on buses, getting off buses. And by the end of the day, I had asked someone to be baptized. I think he was drunk, and so he didn't say yes, but I did it. And it was a fun experience on the first day. And a fun little fact about the mission: you don't eat dinner, so you try to eat a big breakfast, eat an even bigger lunch, and you get home and you're busy. You plan and you do your calls, and then you go to bed. If you're lucky, you can make yourself a little snack. But I remember being really hungry in the beginning, but I remember being very full at sometimes my mission too. Don't eat too much. The Argentines are very friendly, and they will offer you food as you go into their house, and a lot of Coke, which I didn't drink before my mission, and I don't drink now, but in my mission they offer that you drink more of that than water because it's more clean. And so you drink a lot of Coke, and a lot of you do get a lot of food from the members most of the time. So